Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We're excited to welcome many representatives from East Coast universities this evening. We would like to start by acknowledging that we are on the traditional territories of the Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe peoples, whose presence here continues to this day. We would also like to acknowledge that the land we are on is at the meeting place of two treaties, the lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit and those of the First Nations of the Williams Treaty. We want to thank them and other Indigenous peoples for sharing this land with us. The format for tonight's presentation has already been shared with you, but as a recap, each university representative will speak for up to 5 minutes. There will be a question and answer period at the end via the Q&A feature that you will find at the bottom of your screen. A recording of tonight's presentation along with contact information will be shared with you. And at this time, I would like to invite Claire from Acadia University to begin.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to share my screen right now. Great, thank you. Thank you for having me tonight. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Acadia University and all the beautiful things we can offer. To start, we are located in the beautiful province of Nova Scotia, as you'll hear about from several others tonight. This is actually one of the warmest provinces on average, and it is surrounded by coastline. It's a great spot for anyone who's looking to be near the ocean, and especially for Ontario students, I always like to highlight that it is a much milder winter. Our school specifically is located in Wolfville, Nova Scotia. Wolfville is actually a very small town. It has 4,200 residents, but it is full of lots of local flavor. Restaurants, cafes, pubs, coffee shops, local stores. We are completely surrounded by wineries as well as apple orchards. So it's a very agricultural and very support local kind of area. Just down the street from the main drag, you'll find Acadia University. And so our campus is directly in the center of town. We are actually the largest employer in the area. We have about 3,500 students, and only about 500 of those are graduate students. So it's primarily undergraduate. We are about 500 meters from the ocean. So like I said, if you want to be near the ocean, you are guaranteed that here. And we do represent over 65 countries on our campus. This is just an aerial shot of our campus. So you can see that's entirely our campus right in the center there. And to walk from the most southern part to the most northern part of campus, it takes about 10 minutes. So it's a very walkable campus. It's also a really beautiful walk as well. A quick overview of our academics. We have 3 faculties, 30 majors, and over 200 degree options. So what you'll find is that you're really able to customize what you would like to study. The first faculty we have is the Faculty of Arts. We also have the Faculty of Pure and Applied Sciences. And then we also have the Faculty of Professional Studies. Just a note, our education program is actually offered as a postgrad. We also offer a health science option due to the high demand of requests for this. We do offer courses within each of our faculties for students who are looking to pursue a career in one of these areas. Our general admissions guidelines for Ontario students, we require grade 12 university English, as well as 4 additional grade 12 U or M courses. Some of our courses do have more specific courses required. For example, if you're looking to study kinesiology, we're also going to need a grade 12 math course, so either advanced functions or math of data management. And the overall average, we're looking for a 70, unless you're looking at biology or kinesiology, and then it's a 75. Now for scholarships, we do assess scholarships as soon as you apply, and we do give over $4 million every year. Basically, if you have an average of above 80%, you are guaranteed some amount of money. Another way to offset your degree is by enjoying our co-op program. It's offered in 80% of our programs, and our students make an average of $10,000 per work term, and they usually do 3 or 4 work terms. What's really great is you get up to a year of professional experience, and 60% of our co-op students graduate debt-free. You'll also find lots of residences on our campus. It is guaranteed to all students, regardless of what year you're in. And we offer 11 different buildings. So there's definitely something for everyone. And if you are on campus, you are required to have a meal plan, but it is a 7-day unlimited meal plan. And of course, there are tons and tons of ways to get involved. 80% of our student body does volunteer every year. So if you're looking to volunteer, we definitely have that. We do have academic societies as well as social societies. Please follow along to see what we're doing. These are actually student-run accounts, so you'll get the real news from these. And we'd love to have you join us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claire. Thank you very much, Claire. And now I'd like to welcome St. Mary's University.
Thank you, Terry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Darian Thorne. I am the Student Recruitment Officer for St. Mary's, and I work with primarily students from Ontario, so I'm very excited to be on the panel this evening. I actually graduated from St. Mary's in 2017 from the arts program. I majored in political science and international development studies. And if you're not familiar where St. Mary's is located, we're actually located on the east coast of Canada in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And Halifax is actually the largest Atlantic Canadian city, and we offer the best of both worlds. So for instance, we have all the amenities of a larger city, but you can also experience that small town East Coast charm, and you have access to beaches, the ocean, and nature. In fact, we have a park that's right next to our campus. It's called Point Pleasant Park, and it's a great place if you just want to get away from campus or take a break from studying and go outside for a run or a walk or sit by the ocean and read a book. And our campus is actually located in the heart of Halifax, so we're within walking distance from restaurants, movie theaters, live music, shopping, a ton of cafes. And students can also get out and explore the outskirts of the city as well with your student bus pass and ferry pass. And Halifax is a true student city. There's about 6 universities on the peninsula, and this city is always buzzing with students. So every September, about 25,000 students come to Halifax just to study. So it really makes our population and our city young, vibrant, and diverse. And actually, when I went to university, I lived with 4 other people who went to different universities. So it kind of is a real testament to the small town charm that Halifax is that you can meet friends that go to your university, but you can also meet friends that go to other universities as well. And St. Mary's is a primarily undergraduate university, so we really want to make sure that you make the most of your undergraduate degree. So we offer interdisciplinary programs in each faculty. So whether you study business, science, or arts, you'll be taking classes in every program. And it is a really great way to diversify your learning and gain new and unique perspectives. We offer one of the most extensive Bachelor of Art programs. Like I mentioned, I majored in political science, but I also took classes in sociology and Indigenous studies, and those turned out to be some of my most favorite. We also offer experiential learning opportunities in every faculty, so you could participate in Model United Nations or field schools in the Gambia or Italy, co-op. Actually, our SOBI School of Business is a world-renowned business school. We offer co-op opportunities in every major. So you will be able to not only graduate with your degree, but you can also graduate with a year of work experience in your field of specialization as well. And our Bachelor of Science degree, it stands out because we offer low student to professor ratio, state-of-the-art teaching facilities, and research opportunities as early as your first year. Like I mentioned, we are primarily an undergraduate university, so this means students like you can get involved in hands-on research opportunities as early as your first year. We also have a great varsity sports program, which lends itself to an awesome community experience. We surround a football field where we gather for football games, soccer games, rugby games, and we also have a rink on campus as well. And our varsity women's hockey actually won 3 AUS championships. So we're very, very proud of our varsity athletes. And just to conclude, the community aspect of St. Mary's is so strong. We have a population of around 7,000 students, and they come from all walks of life. And about 30% of them are international. So it really lends itself well to students who come from outside of the province, and we welcome them warmly. So we really hope to see you at St. Mary's, and if you have any questions later, feel free to ask me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Darian. And now I'd like to welcome Bishop's University.
Hi there, I think you guys can see me. Yes, perfect. Thank you so much for allowing me to present today. I'm going to share my screen with a little presentation video presentation from, oops, for some reason it's not working. I'm just going to start by talking. My name is Jeremy Harrison-Lalonde. I actually graduated with a major in information technology and a minor in entrepreneurship all the way in 2020. So I'm pretty recent in terms of my graduation. Bishop's University offers a very unique experience in terms of a Canadian style experience, since we tend to offer an American style experience within Canada. I'm going to share you my screen right now. Perfect. So we offer a centralized campus available. That centralized campus essentially means that everything and anything related to the university is on one centralized piece of land. That's classrooms, residences, dining hall, library, sportsplex, clinic, absolutely everything. From one end of the campus to the other end of the campus, it's only a 15-minute walk. Bishop's was founded in 1843. A lot of times people tend to talk about how it looks like Hogwarts. It was actually founded even before Canada was declared as a country, so it's older than Canada itself. The outside has remained authentic to how it used to be. However, a lot of renovation has been done through the inside to adapt to modern technology, and then also the chapel did burn down twice. We are a small, tight-knit campus, so we have less than 3,000 students directly on our campus. Within those less than 3,000 students, we have 25% of those who are international all across the world. I have two very good friends. One of them is from Hong Kong and the other one's from Aruba. It's a great way, honestly, to meet new people and travel affordably when you get to visit your friends in those different types of countries. Part of the centralized American style experience, 97% of our entire student populations live within walking distance of the campus. So where is Bishop's University located? We're actually located in Sherbrooke, Quebec. So we're about an hour and a half away from Montreal, more into the suburbs, rural area of Sherbrooke. We're known in terms of the eastern townships. It's one of the most beautiful places in Quebec. It's definitely a lot of sightseeing to see if you do decide to come over. However, we're still very well located. We're only an hour and a half again from Montreal, 2 hours from Quebec City, 3 hours and a half from Ottawa, the capital of Canada, as well as 4 hours from Boston. Usually when the borders open, you get to visit that, as well 8 hours away from New York and only 7 hours away from Toronto. One of the biggest things I was concerned about, I'm actually originally from Montreal, and then I did high school in Ottawa. One of the things I was really concerned about when I came to Bishop's in a more rural area. Sorry, I just heard my voice twice. Wait, I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I was kind of concerned about when I first came to Bishop's was losing the city aspect that I love so much, like trendy coffee shops, restaurants, cafes, movie theaters. But I was very happily surprised when I arrived. All of that was available readily for students. It is a student-oriented town, so there's a lot of places available directly for the actual students. So again, coffee shops, movies, only 15 minutes away from the actual area. We have 5 different divisions in our school. We have the School of Education, one of our most well-reputed schools, Natural Sciences and Mathematics, Humanities, Natural Sciences, and the Williams School of Business. If you want a more in-depth view of the actual programs that we offer, an A to Z list of all of our minors and majors, just shoot me an email. I could send you a direct link that goes into depth in terms of those. Bishop's University has adopted a liberal way of education model. So what does that exactly mean? Essentially, we try to encourage students to ask questions and become more confident within their abilities. We're trying to prepare our students for not only the now, but we're also preparing them for the future. We saw quite a large trend in terms of employers that are more focused on students that have higher EQ skills or soft skills in terms of presentation, the ability to communicate, ability to fastly adapt in terms of different situations. accommodations. So we're trying to grow those types of skills in terms of students. And we do so in various ways, which I'm going to go as well further in depth into that in my future slides. Bishop's University is all about academic excellence. So one of the great things that we do is that we do offer a lot of services to the students to achieve their best abilities when they come to Bishop's University. One of the cool things is if you do have a learning disability or you have an issue with anxiety or anything else like that, we have our accessibilities and accommodation services that allow a whole bunch of services like extra time on exams, private rooms, tutors, note takers, specialized softwares and computers. The only thing that you do need to have is a up-to-date psychological evaluation in your last year of high school. So just make sure to have that, and then you can have access to all those services. We do know that oftentimes it is the first time that students are coming for their first year outside of campus and living away from home for so long. So health and wellness is a strong focus onto our campus. If students are facing different types of issues or emotional issues or stresses in their life, we have counselors available onto the campus to kind of help them go through those situations and overcome them with time. We also have a development and career academic facilitator. A great example of that is I actually started in pre-med when I first came in my first year at Bishop's. I wanted to become a doctor. I did a full year, and I realized it was not at all what I wanted to do, and it was not at all what I was interested in. So I kind of got scared, obviously. Did I just waste a full year of my schooling? What do I do? Where am I going to go? I went to go see a career advisor, and they helped me to understand what I've valued when I went into medicine, what I was looking forward to when I went into medicine, what I loved about medicine, and they helped me guide into a direction that I could achieve all the things that I kept close to my heart, but in a different field. And I ended up graduating at the exact same time, no extended time, because we are a liberal way of education. So we do have extra what is it called, credits that you're able to play around with. We also have a strong focus on the Indigenous populations. We are on a land that used to be owned by an Indigenous group. So we created an entire building to allow a safe space for First Nations individuals to talk. A strong focus, again, on our liberal way of education and allowing students to be able to grow more EQ skills is to offer them a whole bunch of different learning opportunities. One of the big focuses that we do have is undergrad research opportunities, as well as internships and co-ops. So the biggest difference between an internship and a co-op is that the co-op is part of our school university, the Bishop's University. You have to apply within to the program. So you have requirements, GPA requirement, etc. Once you get in, Bishop's University is the one that's going to place you into different types of internships. And if you do achieve 3 types of internships, you get a profile in terms of your transcript to show that you've been employable and quite employable. Also, you are evaluated within those internships. So there are requirements with the internships that you go in. You need to be full-time, you have to be paid, you also have to have a supervisor that supervises you, that looks at what you're doing. One of the great things as well, like one of the other universities that was talking just before me, is that we are a primarily undergrad university degree. So that means that oftentimes students have great opportunities to be able to touch experiences that will only be exclusive to master's and PhD students. A great example of that is amazing research opportunities, or even being a teacher's assistant, a TA. That is exclusive in other universities for master's and PhD students. So what's the actual admission requirements when you do come into Bishop's? Overall GPA, you need to have an 80% average or a 3.5% GPA. We tend to look at your academic history in terms of seeing if you're going into an upwards motion. Since oftentimes when you do tend to apply, you only have really your grade 11s that are grade 11 grades that are available, sorry. So we're going to give you a conditional acceptance just as long as you maintain your grade average that goes on. If you want to, the tuition is around 10,000. I don't have the correct tuition on me at the moment right now. This is US tuition, so don't be scared. This is not the actual tuition prices that you guys have to pay. We do offer scholarships, however, ranging from 200 to 20,000 Canadian dollars. So I'm going to let you guys go from there. I'm going to talk a little more, but I'm going to try to keep the presentation a little short. Make sure to look at my actual social media information and my personal phone number, and you can contact me regarding that. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. And now I'd like to turn the screen over to Mount Allison University.
Hey everyone, my name is Saurabh. I'm an admissions counselor at Mount Allison University, and Yep, like my fellow colleagues here from different universities, I'm also a recent graduate. I graduated in 2018 with an honors in political science and a minor in sociology. So before I begin, I'm just going to share my screen as well. If you just hold on with me. Okay. Can somebody please confirm if they could see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so hi again, and welcome to Mount Allison University. We are a small, primarily undergraduate liberal arts and science university, and we're located in the small, picturesque town of Sackville, New Brunswick. Now, where really is Sackville? Sackville is located about 30 minutes away from Moncton, and Moncton is the largest city that we have in the province of New Brunswick. From Toronto, it's only an hour and a half flight away. And yeah, a lot of the people that we do have on our campus do come from all 10 provinces and 54 different countries. So we have over 2,100 students on our campus, and they tend to be very, very diverse. Okay. Something to start with the presentation with is that we've been ranked as the #1 undergraduate university in Canada for a record of 22 out of the last 30 years. That is a record that's unmatched by any other universities, and a lot of credit goes towards the professors and the university administration, and of course our students in general that tend to be fantastic, and doesn't matter where they come from, they all tend to thrive on our campus. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, we are a liberal arts and sciences university, and the great thing about Mount Allison is that we understand that when you're 17 or 18, you're really confused and you really don't know. You may know or you may not know what you'd like to do in your future. So students, when they apply to Mount Allison and when they come into the university, can come in as an unknown or undeclared major. So you can come in as a Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Commerce, Music, or Fine Arts, undeclared major, and then sort of dip your toes in different waters, see what subjects you really like, and then declare your major at the end of your second year. It's just allowing students to take different courses in different subjects, because there might be really subjects that you might not have access in high school, but when you come to a university, there's a plethora of courses that you could take. And Mount Allison does recognize that, and that's why we offer this this unique sense of education for our students. We offer over 45 programs in 5 different degrees. So your degrees could either be in arts, science, commerce, fine arts, or music. And the best thing is you can combine different courses and different majors and minors to make a combination that's really unique to you. So you could be like a biology student who has a minor in political science, or it could be an aviation student with a minor in philosophy. So you would think like, oh, this does sound a little bizarre. Like, why do I need these kind of combinations? And one particular reason that comes to my mind, and that's been consistently there along with the friends that I know and the people that I've known that have graduated from Mount Allison, is that you're not preparing for a career for today, you're preparing for the career of tomorrow. So let's say when I was a kid in 1990s and somebody told me you have to manage Ryan Gosling's personal Instagram account for $100,000 a year, people would be like, what is Instagram? Who is Ryan Gosling? And what is the internet? We didn't know this about 10 or 15 years ago, but as we now know, and in this particular presentation, that if we didn't have the internet, we wouldn't have this fair here. So a unique degree combination like these can really set you apart, and it does really set you apart from your peers. And then it also allows you to specialize in a lot of things that you could go ahead in your career and then make a completely unique career to yourself. Talking in terms of our classes, we are a really small university, and you can walk from one end of the campus to the other in less than 10 minutes. If you walk really slow like I do, you could go around in 15 minutes. In terms of our class sizes, it's a really small class size that we have. I personally remember from my time at Mount A that my largest class ever was 160 students, and that was in first year economics and first year psychology courses. And by the time I came in my 4th year, they dropped down to 4 students. That's the minimum I had in my class. And that's not because people tended to drop out. That's because people decided to do a lot of different courses and specialize in their own unique particular fields. I really like Canadian politics. In my Canadian politics class, there were only 4 students, and that was the best time I could ever have with my professor. In terms of major awards won by the faculty, 3 of our professors are Canada Research Chairs. And that does really add to your experience at Mount A, because you would be taught by professors who are specialists in their field. Either they were or they're currently working apart from the universities. Something that's really unique to Mount A is that we offer experiential learning opportunities. What this means is if you're a student and it doesn't matter what field you are studying in at Mount A, you can do an internship and you can gain work experience. So let's say there's a really unique work experience for you somewhere in the world that is completely unpaid, but you really would like to do it, but would really like to secure funding for the same thing. Even if you don't get it from your job, Mount A the Office of Experiential Learning can actually arrange for some funding for you. So it does not really stop you from going into fields that only can make you money, because money is important when you're a student, but it allows you to do so in a very unique way in which you could do what you really like to do in place that you really like to do, and then can also be financially supported by the university in that manner. Moving ahead, in terms of study abroad opportunities, if any of you guys would like to study abroad, this is a great opportunity. I myself was an international student when I came to Mount A. I came at the age of 17 from India, and this was the first time that I ever stepped on a plane. I barely spoke any English, and I was going to a place that was completely unknown to me. But it's been about 7 years. I still live in Sackville. This is a community that I've never felt that I'm not a part of. I've always been at home since the first day that I've ever stepped onto campus in Sackville. So studying abroad has been great for me, and I'm sure it'd be great for you. So if you're ever interested, we offer 31 different programs in 20 different countries, and the countries can range from Japan, China, Australia, England, to the United States, and many other different countries as well. About Sackville, we're a really small town with 5,500 people, out of which 2,100 tend to be students. And we're really located in, you have the really small town kind of community, and we have a lot of big city people that really love to come to our campus and live in our cities and support our local economy as well. And at the same time, have the opportunity to be a part of the community. I know that this might seem a little daunting because I come from a city with 1.5 million people, and my city does not even appear on the map. It's that, but when I decided to come to Mount A, it was only 5,500 people back then as well. And yeah, it's just a great sense of community in our small town, and you don't tend to waste a lot of time going from one place to the other as you would do in a bigger city in terms of your commute. And that allows you to really focus your attention on studying, that really focuses your attention on getting involved in the community or getting work experiences. So I'd highly encourage all of you to, once the lockdown's over, once we've kind of gotten over the pandemic, to come and visit our campus, have one-on-one meetings with an admissions counselor, probably sit in a class, eat a meal in our meal hall. And the best thing is, because we're only 8 admissions counselors, and all of us have graduated from Mount Ellison. So, and all of us come from a different range and different experiences of ourselves. So we are like your representatives on the admissions table. So if you ever have any questions, please feel free to get in touch with us. We would love to talk to you. One thing we do this job is because we like talking and working with students. So again, all of our contact information is with Terry and with Callie. So go ahead, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and shoot us an email. And we would love to hear back from you. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
Thank you very much, Saurabh. Now I'd like to introduce St. Francis Xavier University.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I wish I was there in person. I know St. Andrews was a lot of fun last year. And I'm assuming everyone can see my screen right now. So 5 minutes is a short time to talk about like everything a university has. And anyone who's watching this, I just want you to know that you are seeing what I think are the best universities in Canada right now. The East Coast has so much to offer, but let's get to it. Firstly, I want to show you the campus. So this is the campus. I'm in this tower right now. Antigonish, Nova Scotia is, I think, the farthest east we have here tonight. This is the Trans-Canada Highway. So if you were to go to the 401, head east towards the end of the world and stop about 2 hours early. You'd get to Antigonish. On the east coast. The end of the world is Cape Breton. That's just a little joke for everyone from Nova Scotia. I'm not from Nova Scotia. I'm from London, Ontario. In 2014, I was dropped off at this building right here on August 14th. It was my very first day in Nova Scotia. And I honestly did not know what I was getting myself into. I never did a presentation like this. I never talked to any recruiter or student success leader like myself. I showed up to play football, and I wasn't sure why I was here, but I learned quite quickly. So, undergraduate focused university. We are a university of 5,000 people living in a town of about 5,000 people. Arts, science, business are our three main undergraduate programs, and education offered as a bachelor's degree afterwards. The average class size on the average year, I know this year isn't the average year, is 34. We are currently open. I was walking through the parking lot right down here today, and there were football players out on the field, and there was trivia going on in our campus bar. And I don't want to rub it into anyone who doesn't have that right now, but I've been so incredibly impressed by St. FX and the community and how we've come together to make sure that we are open and in person this year, people living on campus. So we have a lot of programs, and I won't go through every single one just because it would take too much time, but we have arts, science, and business, and those are our three main areas of study. St. FX, everything you need is on our little block. I know you've heard this before from a few of small universities presenting, but it is about a 10-minute walk diagonally across our campus. Everything you need when you're living on campus is on campus, and everything you need when you're living off campus is off campus as well. We've heard a lot about what universities offer, and I think St. FX is no different in some of like the incredible things that universities offer these days, especially liberal arts universities in Canada, which we all are. I would like more to maybe speak to you about what's the best fit for you. Coming from Ontario, I did not think the best fit for me was moving halfway across the country to go to university, but I do think joining a community like St. FX is a responsible choice, although it might not be the easiest conversation to have around the dinner table with your parents or your grandparents saying, oh yeah, I'm just going to move to Antigonish, Nova Scotia, on the North Shore of Nova Scotia to go to university. That's not always the easiest conversation to have, but I think it can definitely pay off. We have an information session. I was getting ready for it, and I was talking to one of the senior administrators on our staff, and he said, the best thing about St. FX is that we have great academics, but you get an even better education. And I do think there's a lot of truth to that. When you show up here, the textbooks are the same at all of our universities, and you just have to figure out what is the best fit for you. I hope St. FX is the best fit for you. I don't want all the other recruiters in here to roll their eyes, but I will mention my X-ring. We are one of the strongest alumni networks in Canada. And I'll tell you a small story. When I was living in London, I was getting recruited to play football. A football coach came, he showed me, things like this, went through a little presentation, showed me the X-ring, and I kind of scoffed at it at first. And then I was working that night, I was bouncing at a bar. I'm a much bigger guy in person, and I saw a couple and they had X-rings on, and I said, hey, I know exactly what that is. And they said, do you go there? I said, no, I'm getting recruited. Oh, who's recruiting you? And I said, Coach Schneider. And they said, I played football with Coach Schneider. So it took me 2 hours, 2,000 kilometers away until I had a meaningful connection with someone, just because of me showing interest in St. Francis Xavier University. And those connections continue to grow So I encourage you to ask me questions, ask questions to everyone else in here, and find the best fit for you, because I think it's in this presentation between one of us here today. So thank you very much for having me. And yeah, feel free to reach out and ask me any questions.
Well, thank you very much, Greg. Now I'd like to introduce Concordia University.
Or my audio there. Sorry, guys. So I'm Robert. I work for Concordia University. I am a student recruitment officer. Like my friend Greg, I'm equally from London, Ontario. So it's nice to have some representation from Ontario here today. So I'll quickly start things off with my presentation. I'll kind of fly through the slides here and then leave some time at the end to discuss how to apply from Ontario. My email is right there if you want to note it down. It is a bit of a confusing last name. So if you want to take a screenshot, that might help you as well. All righty. So our location, we are located in Montreal. Montreal, honestly, it's the best city in the world. That's my opinion. But I think for those of you who have a chance to come here one day or haven't come here already, it really is just absolutely amazing. It's been ranked the #1 student city in North America time and time again. There's just so much to do throughout the entire year, from events to just different activities going on. You won't be bored. It's a huge change of pace. And even compared to Toronto, it's definitely very different. The whole vibe is unique. A question that comes up often with like Ontario students or students that are not from a French speaking province, can I go to Concordia and live in Montreal without knowing any French? Answer is yes, no need to be concerned at all. Montreal itself is very English friendly. The downtown and west part of Montreal is very Anglophone or English friendly. And that's been something that's been true in the past and is true today. With that, what I want to point out is that moving to Montreal and staying at Concordia is a chance to, even though you'll be studying in English, we are an English university, a chance to be present and around the French culture and the French speakers is a great opportunity just to pick up a few words. If you're looking for future employment opportunities within the government or just jobs within Canada, knowing our second language is obviously very important. And to do so, just like without, I wouldn't say classes, just walking about and making friends within Montreal is a great way to do so. So I warmly encourage you to take advantage of the opportunity, go out of your comfort zone, move to a new place where there's a bit of a diversity when it comes to the linguistic profile. So Concordia itself is a young university. We were established in 1974. 2 years later, Montreal hosted the Olympics, just as a fun reference. So as far as size goes, this is a huge change from what you've been shown up until now. We are one of Canada's largest universities. So as you can see, the numbers right there show our population is spread between graduate and undergraduate, with the undergraduate being 37,000. Our international student population is growing each year. Right now, it's roughly 20% of our students. But with our big size, we still maintain small or smaller rather class sizes. So the student to professor ratio is 27:1, and 75% of your undergraduate courses will have 60 students or less. So you can still maintain some of that intimacy. Obviously, you can approach your professors and all that is still maintained. So here's our downtown campus. We have 2 campuses. The one downtown is where 85% of students will be studying. Super good location and really convenient. You can pull up the campus using the metro. About 8 minutes from here, southeast of our campus is the Bell Center. So if you're looking to go see an event or maybe a touchy subject for Toronto or Aurora, but you can go see a Canadiens game. Cheaper tickets definitely than in Toronto. And then just 7 kilometers west of our downtown campus in an area called NDG is our Loyola Campus. NDG is one of Montreal's largest neighborhoods. For those of you who know who Jay Baruchel is, he's actually from this part of Montreal. So this campus right here, obviously a much different vibe than our downtown campus. This will be more similar to some of the other schools that have been here today. It's residential, much more calm and relaxed. And here programs like psychology, the applied sciences, and the athletic programs take place. Now, in terms of what you can take at Concordia as far as your studies go, we have 4 faculties: the John Wilson School of Business, the Gina Cody School of Engineering and Computer Science, the Faculty of Arts and Science, and the Faculty of Fine Arts. The Faculty of Arts and Science is one of the largest at Concordia, with roughly half of our students enrolled within it. Programs range from journalism, communications, psychology, the sciences, the list goes on. We offer over 100 programs across these 4 faculties. Within Fine Arts, students can access the facilities at any time of day. So if you want to go in and work on your guitar skills, whatever it may be, that's there at your disposal. And obviously both John Wilson School of Business and the Computer Science and Engineering schools offer their own programs, very hands-on. You can do co-ops in the majority of the programs that we offer, and many ways to get involved. And on that note, we want you to take the experience outside the classroom and really apply your skills. So you can either do a study abroad, you can do, like I mentioned, a co-op. So a co-op is up to 3 paid internships during the course of your studies. You can do research. We have a science college that you can be a part of as a student, which allows you to do research at the undergraduate level. And you can also do volunteering or join a club. There's many, many, many ways to be an active student. And for those of you who are currently athletes or have ambitions to pursue your athletic abilities at the university level, we have a varsity team. They compete within Quebec, but also within Canada. So that's definitely a cool opportunity if you want to pursue it. If not, intramural or just going to the gym can equally be done. And then also we have student services. These are offered at both campuses. Just good to take note of this. I know as a student myself, I kind of didn't pay attention to this early on, but these are services that are super, super important to keep yourself on track, make sure that you're doing well in school. So now when it comes to applying, the application process for Concordia is all done online. So you go onto our website, you can actually provide your OUAC number, and then you can pull your transcripts from OUAC. When it comes to selecting your program, you have up to 3 choices, and it will be evaluated based off your based off preference. So your first choice will go first. Afterwards, it's really just a matter of uploading your transcripts or for OUAC. And that's pretty much it. We really assess based off GPA. There's some programs like within the fine arts or education where they have additional requirements like essays or an interview. But if not, for the greater majority, it will just go based off GPA. Entrance requirements range from a C+ up to A-, which is for some tougher programs like aerospace engineering, but really it does vary. So it's important just to go on the website, check what the requirements are. I've kind of just put this copied from our website here. So for Ontario, we're looking at 6th grade 12 U or M courses, which includes your grade 12 English. We also take a look at AP classes for those of you who are taking any AP. That's essentially what it comes down to. It's a super straightforward process. Everything is done online. And yeah, like I said, it's definitely very straightforward and simple. If you have a moment, you can take down my email right there. And you can reach out to me at any point for future reference. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Robert. And now I'd like to turn the screen over to McGill University.
Hi, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me and see my screen. Great to be following Robert and Concordia. Obviously, McGill and Concordia share a fantastic city for students to live in, and our downtown campuses are about 5 minutes away from each other with a brisk walk. So certainly a great city for students to live in. McGill University is going to be celebrating 200 years of education and research and innovation this year. So certainly looking forward to celebrating the school's history, but even more excited to look to our next entering class who will be joining us for the next century in history in the making. McGill University is a large school, so we have about 40,000 students, 27,000 of them are undergraduate students, And along with that, hopefully I'll be able to show you that there are so many opportunities when it comes to program choices, engagement on campus, being part of a large student population. McGill degree is also an extremely well recognized one, not only across Canada, but really around the world. Our student body is representing 150 countries, 30% of our students are international, and a large contingent really from across all provinces. So we often say that at McGill, it's the people, it's the community that really makes your experience, and it is an enriching one based on all of the different perspectives and experiences that you as students bring both to your classrooms and your interactions with each other. Now, we also have an extremely committed alumni community as well. This also lends itself to that great portability of the McGill degree. Our alumni are established in over 180 countries around the world and are available to you even as undergraduate students for mentorship opportunities, when you're looking for internships, and then when you're trying to establish yourself perhaps in another city or back home after your McGill degree. McGill actually has 2 campuses as well. While the majority of our students study downtown in the heart of the city in downtown Montreal, there are 38,000 students studying there. It's a wonderful mix, I think, of both that traditional university campus as well as, again, being in an urban city. So you're going to see a lot of green spaces, a lot of kind of that traditional movie style buildings on campus, and some great new additions as well. But when you look at kind of our location, Montreal has really developed around McGill's campus. So the city is yours to explore. And just to give you an idea that while we are a large school population-wise, it really doesn't feel that way. One, because we do have that contained campus where you're going to see your friends and cross paths, and nothing, once again, is more than 10 minutes away. You're not crossing busy city streets to get from class to class, and you feel like you have a place within the city to call your own. Now, we do have a second campus as well. Mcdonald Campus is about 45 minutes away, closer along the 401 to Ontario, and it's home to areas of study such as agriculture, environmental science, bioresource engineering, and really does things on a bit of a smaller scale. So it has about 2,000 students, a really great student to professor ratio, a lot of outdoor resources and labs where students can put what they learn in the classroom to work outside. And some of the largest research grants at the university are actually for some of the studies that are happening at Mcdonald Campus. Now, both of our campuses offer guaranteed student housing for all first-year students. So know that if you do join us at McGill, we have a home away from home for you. While it is traditional that after your first year, you'd look to take on an apartment rental in the city with friends that maybe you've met in first year. And once again, Montreal is a fantastic city to be a student. And one of those reasons is because of the affordability, certainly of housing options as well. Now, our students certainly start to find their community in residence, but another way that students feel kind of part of their new McGill family is by getting involved. And so whether that's in varsity sports or recreational sports, or being part of a club or activity or performing arts ensemble, all of those opportunities exist at McGill in so many ways. And it's through these specific groups and activities that you're going to find some of your best friends. Now, we also have great opportunities for experiential learning, everything from undergraduate research to field study opportunities, where you go to one of our permanent research stations around the world in places like Barbados, Northern Quebec, the Arctic, and Africa. We also have internships for students across all faculties, where you can take your summer months and really investigate the working world, start to network, and get that tangible experience under your belt. We also have partner institutions around the world, over 150 universities that are our partners, where you pay your McGill tuition to earn credit that comes back to your McGill degree. Now, depending on what program choice you make with your application, it's going to have an impact on the campus that you study at. Like I said, the majority of our students are going to be studying at our downtown campus, but if you do select a program that you see highlighted for Mac, that's going to be your home base at the university. Now, there's certainly a lot of room for flexibility with over 300 program choices and students able to take elective courses and minors outside of their home faculty. You can really put a personal stamp on the degree that you earn that's going to work for you in your next trajectory. There are a couple of programs that you'll see cross-offered. So that's a strategic way if you're looking at a specific major to perhaps have more than one entry point at McGill. Our application is an institution-specific one, so you are not applying to us through OUAC. You're actually applying through our website. You're able to make 2 program choices, and we encourage you to use those program choices. And you can also apply for scholarships with the university, ranging from $3,000 to $12,000 renewable. And we also offer need-based financial aid as well. Now, when it comes to requirements for entry to McGill, we look at a calculation of your top 6 pre-university courses. This requires at least 4 4U courses, and the others could be 4M or 4U. Any prerequisite courses are automatically included in that top 6 calculation. And for each program choice, depending on the prerequisites, that top 6 calculation could be different as well. Now, when it comes to scholarships, we look at grade 11 and grade 12 courses. And when you're submitting your grades to us, you actually can do so through OUAC by providing us with your reference number. We may also require proof of English proficiency if you haven't been studying in a country where English is the primary language for 4 years. A couple of tips with your application is you get in the driving seat. Make sure that you're checking in, that you're accessing Minerva, which is our applicant portal, just to make sure everything is okay. Don't send anything that's not requested. And these are the things that you can do to really ensure that your application is on track. Now, there's lots of ways to stay connected with us after tonight's session. If you do have quick questions, you can join us through one of our Zoom drop-ins until December 16th. You can also follow us on Instagram or look for upcoming events on our undergraduate admissions page. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your curiosity. My email's also there if you have a specific question that you want to direct my way. And I'll stop sharing my screen and hand back over to Terry.
Thank you, Melanie, and thank you very much to all the presenters this evening. At this time, if any students or parents have questions, please post those questions in the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen. It does appear everyone has been most informative, and we thank you very much, and are looking forward to seeing you in person live next year. Thank you again, and please note that tonight's presentations will be recorded, and we will be sharing this with the rest of the school community. Thank you again, and have a nice evening.